Welcome Libra to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 22nd of July for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. Well, as last week came to a close, we had the second consecutive full moon, emphasizing your emotions, with the Sun high in the sky, emphasizing your ambitions. But this time, we had the energy of Mars supporting you in such a brilliant way. If you recall, there was a further Capricorn full moon a month ago, and that was really mashed up by the rather confusing energies of Neptune in the part of your situation to do with your energy. So as you come into this week, if you are still trying to work out your work-life balance, one of the things that Mars is encouraging you to do is have a little bit more space and freedom for yourself. Because whether it is your professional demands or family and home needs, at the end of the day we all have a part of us that does need to be free and liberated, and Mars is going to give you a great opportunity over the next 6 weeks to discover that more. But it also forges a fantastic link to Pluto right at the start of this week for the first time in 220 years between the signs of Gemini and Aquarius. Pluto is in the 5th house, very much about manifesting your talent, your creativity and your flair. Also, your social interactions can be boosted by that. So even if you have felt a bit caught up in professional demands of late, this link to Mars is just encouraging you to think, well, look, when did I last see my friends? When did I do something more spontaneous? And of course, the Sun moves later on Monday, linking up with Mars in a fantastically positive way, which peaks on Friday, but it does go opposite Pluto. What does this mean? Well, it means that the Sun joining up with your ruler Venus and Mercury in your 11th house, very much about your future, but it's also about your connections, the network, and it can also be about the things that really inspire you, that go beyond the physical and more ambitious domain. But Pluto is saying that whatever you do, it's got to feel that you're very much at the heart of things in terms of feeling inspired and involved. So if there are some friendships or associations you've had in the past that aren't quite working for you in the way they used to do, that Mars position could see you wanting to break free of those as much as anything to do with your professional or emotional sphere too. Now, there is a clash this week between Mercury in your 11th house and Uranus in the 8th. If you did feel a lot of tension last week, particularly at the start of the week, with the combination of Mars and Uranus, it may have been about shared finances. It could have been around something where you felt really compelled to do something in an impulsive way, perhaps a little bit out of character. But Uranus is still in that area, even though Mars has moved on. And the 8th house is about transformations, whereas Mercury in the 11th house, much more logical. But you could still feel a little bit on edge and a little bit ragged until Thursday. Because then, on Thursday, Mercury moves into a more sheltered location, and it may give you a little bit of an incentive to find some peace and tranquility. But if a relationship issue has been at the heart of some of the balancing you're trying to get around your personal freedom, the fact that Chiron goes into a retrograde on Friday through to the end of the year, that could be an area of big shifts for you, particularly once Pluto goes moves back into the sign of Capricorn across the 1st and 2nd of September, depending on where you live. The week comes to an end with a quarter moon in Taurus, that 8th house energy again, highly charged, passionate, intense, transformational, battling with the more logical, friendly energies of the Sun in Leo. I feel basically, if there is somebody around you who's been very possessive or controlling or trying to leverage something, the last couple of weeks with that combination between Mars and Uranus may have given you a lot of food for thought. And if it is a romantic alliance, the fact that Chiron goes retrograde and that quarter moon at the end of the week really gives you yet even more food for thought. But essentially this week I feel the key issue is Mars moving into your 9th house, because It's very much to do with your need for space, independence and freedom. And if something has just become too heavy, too bogged down, it's not really working for you, your future hopes coming through Leo need to have you more in touch with your higher aspirations. So essentially, whether it's to do with a business involvement, a job, an activity or a relationship, what you're wanting at the moment is a sense that your direction is clean, and if something isn't clean and clear, you may be cutting some ties. It's been great being with you, but if you would like to have a one-to-one with me, a personal consultation, please check out my testimonials below. I don't edit these, I share them as is. Discover what other people have found working with me. If you would like to become a patron from $3 a month, I upload a lot of extra information. If you are already a Patreon, thank you so much for all your support. And if you would like to ascend beyond this zodiac forecast and embrace the power of more serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place, or date and place if you don't know your time, I can produce for you your life roadmap report. This will give you searing insights to the patterns that are played out in your life so far, but a much more intimate understanding of how to work with those energies future forwards. In my special package of 30% off, you can also get your 12 months transits. That's the moving planets in the sky interacting with your totally unique blueprint. Also, if you know your tropical astrology, but you'd like to discover your draconic astrology based on your soul, your karmic charts, please see below for that too. The same package can be very, very different to your natal chart, but very much an eye-opener. Have a great week. Thank you for joining me, and goodbye.